Yes, lads, we are back. UFC 319. We're back again for the picks. We're both in Big Chirac. This is a big UFC card, so I'm not going to waste too much time talking. Last week we landed Andre Feely. We landed a crafty veteran performance on the lock. So we've gone now, I think, 7 in a row on the lock. So let's go make this 8. Let's not waste too much time, and let's roll.
The road, the miracle Murphy.
Yes, lads, here we are at the lock. Here we are. It's Lerone Murphy, the Manchester Miracle. Now, personally, do not get this twisted. Please do not paint me as a Lerone Murphy enjoyer. I have morals. I'm not a paedophile. You can check the hard drive. Trust me, I don't like Lerone Murphy's style. I think he's one of the worst things for the UFC. I absolutely despise the man and his style of fighting. It's win 2 rounds, then run away for the whole of the 3rd round. But I can't, in righteous mind, when there's money on the line, when there's money to be made, when there's cheddar to be made, I can't not go with him, especially when he's fighting Aaron Pinko, someone who is probably one of the most overrated fighters probably in the last decade. Like, the man is a wrestler, has been signed with Nike since I think he was 14 or 15 and is fucking shite. Bellator tried their hardest to get him in and he could only crush cans. He was pretty poor in PFL. I think it's a very extremely hard test to give him Lerone Murphy straight off the bat. Lerone Murphy's just going to do the style I was talking about. He's going to be able to outwork him on the feet and be able to take it. I don't have a massive amount to say here because, to be honest, talking about Lerone Murphy makes me want to fall asleep. But that's the lock. He's going to beat him 29-28. He has the better grappling, he has the better striking. Not the better wrestling, but has the better grappling to be able to turn it 30. That's all I'm going to say. I'm already, my eyes are starting to close when I'm talking about Lerone Murphy, the most boring fighter in the UFC. But next we'll move down to the favourites. Now, the favourites is where it gets kind of interesting because, as I said, this is a stacked card. So, could be, if everything goes to plan, this could be one of the greatest numbered cards and one of the greatest cards in UFC history because this card has banger, 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 banger. Every single fight in this card is class. There's not many besides maybe the one women's fight that might weigh it down a bit. But other than that, we'll get down to the Aka. So, of course, I'm going with Brian Battle to kick it off against Nasser Rasabayev. Now, personally, I'm picking Brian Battle because I just think this is going to be a straight kickboxing match. Now, Rasabayev is hard to beat because he's 6'5" in the division. But all the fucking same, Brian Battle is a fucking killer. Brian Battle is the Butcher. I believe that the Butcher wins a kickboxing match, put the two of them against each other. I think there could see some swinging head kicks as he uses the height of Rasabayev against him. I think his head would be there, his chin would be there. Brian Battle can easily get his leg up that high and fast. He has a very, very fast kick from hip. Boom. He can knock him out instantly. I do see a 29-28. I don't see a finish. I see a pretty back and forth battle, not much grappling, good kickboxing and a fun overall fight. Next moving to Edson Barboza, who's fighting Jamar Close. Now look, if you give me an unranked opponent against Edson Barboza, I'm picking Edson Barboza every day of the week. Edson Barboza should be basically arrested for having 2 dangerous weapons instead of legs, because those 2 things could kill a man. Like, he is genuinely, if he went through TSA in the airport, they'd stop him for dangerous concealment of a weapon, because those things are dynamite. And I don't think that will really go any different in this fight. I think he'll use these leg kicks to basically hospitalise Jamar Close. I think he'll hit him with leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks. It will all be really, really good. I think Barboza's finish is very live. I think Barboza by even maybe a spinning or like a teep kick, because he is very good when he lands them. But I will say I see a 30-27 Edson Barboza. I like Jamar Close, but I do also believe that he's been a bit shafted by this matchup. Next we move into Carlos Prates, the Nightmare. Now look, Carlos Prates to me still has 1-punch knockout power. I'm not going to give him too much slack off the Ian Gary performance. I think that if his cardio didn't really let him go in the last probably 15 or maybe minute of that fight, he had Ian Gary rocked. Like, he had Ian Gary crawling like a baby. And Ian Gary had a great performance there. I'm not going to knock Ian Gary's performance, but it was still, Carlos Prates proved he's dangerous for the whole fight. And look, I like Jeff Neal, but unfortunately I have to be honest, this is the same as the Neil Magny fight, the same as the fucking Johnny Yang fight, the Leech, the same as almost every single fight Carlos Prates has had. It's going to be a stand-up battle, and once Prates lands, boom, good night Irene, you're hitting the canvas, you'll wake up with Herb Dean standing over you, or if you're unlucky you might have Jason Herzog waking you up in a stretcher. But I can see Carlos Prates walking in here, 1-punch knockout power, catching Jeff Neal straight in the head, hands of steel, hits the mat. Next we move into Chase Hooper, the Gooner man himself. Personally, against Anthony Hernandez, I can't really see Chase Hooper not winning this. I can see him just being able to do the classic Chase Hooper thing of not exactly decent striking, but good enough to get into where he needs to get with his grappling to be able to take you down. Definitely think the submission for Chase Hooper is very live here. Obviously the odds are going to be in the favour of those, but there's definitely a very, very good chance of submission. Chase Hooper is possibly one of the most interesting fighters in this division besides Steve Garcia, meaning because it's really interesting that you have a man who can't technically strike on a persistent level, but is so good at takedowns and submissions for how tall he is. He always finds a way. I think a rear naked's very lively in this fight, but give me Chase Hooper by submission, and we'll move ahead to the underdogs. Now the underdogs is where it gets a bit juicy this week, boys. I won't lie to you. You might see this first one and be like, what? But I do think that King Green is actually the man to look at here. Big Bobby. I do believe that King Green actually takes out Bruno Ferreira. I was originally Diego Ferreira. I was so close on Diego Ferreira originally. I thought, oh yeah, the knockout power, the 1-punch knockout power. But then I really thought about it. Bobby Green is a really strange one, which is take him outside the top 15. And I understand, yes, okay, his only real recent win is over Grant Dawson and Tony Ferguson. Grant Dawson, great finish, early stuff. And then, obviously, Tony Ferguson, I believe I could probably beat Tony Ferguson in a fight now at this thread. And I don't even think that's a very bold thing to say, to be genuinely honest. But if we're going to be realistic with it, Bobby Green, or King Green to me, still has it. I still believe there's something in there. I know his last finish was the roofie head kick where he got absolutely spun into next week. I'd say the man probably woke up at Anne Frank in his attic. The man probably woke up in a time that wasn't very good for him. Let's just say that. Let's not get too far into that one. We'll leave that joke there. But if I am going to be honest, I believe that the man takes... believe he takes out Ferreira, and I actually think he might finish him in the first round. I think Ferreira might shoot stupidly and get caught in a submission and something along those lines, where I think Bobby Green will keep his hands down, but I'm not sure will he actually get dropped this time. I have a weird feeling that there's something about his chin being able to hold up here, him being able to take out an onslaught, him being able to hold off an onslaught and then actually get the finish himself. I'm picking King Green. Next, obviously, we move into the champ Dracus. Look, everyone's going crazy about smash you, brother. I smash you, brother. Smash you. The only thing that gets smashed is his fucking immune system because they can't stay healthy. But I smash you, brother. I smash my cousin, brother. But no, if we're going to be realistic with it, to be honest here, Dracus has the style to where I don't think that there's a fighter on the UFC roster that can beat Dracus, to be honest. And Sean got very close, but that's because that's two styles that are so unpredictable. I just think Dracus is really, really hard to beat because who knows what Dracus is going to come out here and do. Dracus finishes Izzy by falling into him. It wasn't even that he took him out, he fell into him and submitted him. And I can believe that this is going to be a style that you can't really train for. Hamza has the wrestling, but once that fails, we've seen in the Gilbert Burns fight, once a fight goes longer and he starts to fail on takedowns, he really starts to question what to do. His striking isn't there, his actual setups aren't there. If he isn't just trying to run across the octagon and grab your legs like a fucking Russian person to a young girl, trying to grab their legs and trying to drag them to the ground, he really doesn't know what to do. And I honestly think Dracus, with his weird sort of shovelly sort of flip style with his punches and everything like that, can definitely find holes. I think Dracus wins this one by decision, in my opinion. I think a 48-47. I think we go to full 5 rounds. Now, Hamza Chimeav could die if we go to full 5 rounds, to be honest. He'll probably have to go and get like 194 UV drips to make sure he doesn't die. But I do believe that it goes to decision. I do believe that Dracus takes it 48-47. So I've recently been told that I put in GM3 too much in a lot of my videos by one of the boys, and he is right, but that's because I fucking love a bit of Jeremiah shot. I love GM3. Come on, GM3, my boy. No, he's fighting Michael Ochevniak, I think is how you say it. Ochev, that Polish man. Look, he's recently taken out Dumas. Not a great win. GM3's coming off a loss, but personally to me, I just think GM3 has that dog in him. GM3 is just the type of man to have that fucking dog in him, and I will never go against my boy GM3 because he is really lively in 15 minutes fully in a fight. Like, the term crafty vet is being thrown around a lot, and to be honest, I would agree that Jeremy Mershaw is a crafty vet. I think that he's the type of man to make a fight gritty. He might run out of stamina, he might, That's a possibility, but he makes a fight gritty, he has decent stand-up, and when it goes to the grappling, I always favour GM3. He's a really good sneaky submission artist, which I think Michael Ochunka could actually try and do here because of his Dumas finish. He could definitely try and jump into a guard. If he does, I definitely think he's going to run into an issue with GM3, and I think GM3 could have an easy submission if that happens. Give me GM3 at 15-8. I think that the GM3 submission is live, but I'll say decision 29-28 to GM3. And next, move into probably one of the more confusing ones on the list, but I can't go against my boy, the killer gorilla, Jared Cannonier. Go on, Jared Cannonier. I can't go against him because I honestly believe that he beats MVP. I like MVP. I think MVP is one of the most fluent strikers in UFC history. He's one of the more fun fighters to watch because his striking is so fun. But when you put him against someone who's basically never fell out of the top 5 to top 7 in about nearly a decade, I say he struggles. I think Jared Cannonier is a very good fighter. I think Jared Cannonier comes out here, gets dropped or gets touched up quite a bit in the first round, but I think he starts to figure it out as the fight goes ahead. I think he starts to mix in more wrestling. MVP has always struggled with takedowns. The Ian Gary fight's a good example. I don't think he's ever going to be able to train that either. I think he's going to struggle with takedowns. I think Jared Cannonier is going to be able to take him down, kind of control him for 2 rounds, get a 29-28. When they stand up, I still think Cannonier will have his successes. I think he'll find some minor successes, just nothing crazy, but I'll take Jared Cannonier because of the wrestling prowess and the grappling, being able to control it and put in a gritty veteran performance. Okay, again lads, for another week, the ACA unfortunately isn't going to load, so I will just throw up a screenshot right here right now. But anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button or hit the subscribe button. A lot of you watching, about 50%, aren't actually subscribed, or 55%. If you are genuinely not subscribed, please hit the red button. I make these tips for free. There isn't really going to be too much difference from me. I'm never going to put these behind a paywall. I am going to start uploading some other different videos. I have a few different plans. But anyways, everything I've said, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.